Szanowni Państwo, Panie i Panowie, please take your seats. Prosimy o zajmowanie miejsc. Everything depends on the president's voice, right? Here is the president. Here, that's him. He's in charge. Will you recognize if there's a question?
No.
Okay, perfect.
Whoever at RSVP, they're in the book, those who didn't. Please rise for the presentation of colors.
Szanowni Państwo, ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome all of you who have joined us today in the official celebration of Kazimierz Pulaski Day, during the year of the 100th anniversary of the independence of Poland. Before the program begins, I ask for your attention and cooperation in honor of today's event. We ask that you please turn off your cell phones and remain in your seats, not to block the view of guests behind you or to block the view of the official cameramen and photographers. As we have many speakers scheduled for today, please hold your applause and refrain from interrupting the program. For everyone's safety, we also ask that you be aware of the emergency exits located at each side of the Great Hall. Serdecznie witam wszystkich Państwa podczas przybyłych na dzisiejsze uroczyste obchody Dnia Kazimierza Pulaskiego w roku stulecia niepodległej Polski. Uprzejmie prosimy o zachowanie uwagi i skupienia, wyłączenie telefonów, niezasłanianie pola widzenia kamer i aparatów fotograficznych. Prosimy też o zapamiętanie położenia drzwi ewakuacyjnych po obydwu stronach wielkiej sali. Zanim ustąpię miejsca gościom, którzy odniosą się bardzo bogatego, choć niezwykle krótkiego życia bohatera obojga narodów, przedstawionego na płótnie Kazimierza Batowskiego, pragnę zwrócić uwagę Państwa, że Kazimierz Pulaski był także emigrantem. Tak jak niemal wszyscy z nas, zasmakował zdobywania skarbów tej ziemi i ich trudów, a czynił to nie tylko dla zapewnienia sobie lepszej przyszłości, ale walczył o sprawę niepodległości dla kształtującego się dopiero narodu, który nie chciał być dłużej przedmiotem wyzysku i ucisku kolonizatorów. To, czego nie mógł wywalczyć w swojej ojczyźnie, uczynił sensem i treścią swego życia tu, na emigracji, tak jak my. Gdy jeszcze dziś wczytujemy się w historię życia i dokonań naszego wielkiego Polaka, to bez trudu znajdujemy argumenty przemawiające za wciąż przejmującą prawdą, wyzierającą z jego słów skierowanych w liście do George'a Washingtona. Przybyłem tutaj, gdzie bronią wolności, aby służyć tej sprawie i żyć lub umrzeć dla niej. Dzisiaj wiemy, że jego wkład w odzyskanie niepodległości przez Stany Zjednoczone został dostrzeżony i doceniony. Wielki naród odpłacił mu zasługi upamiętnieniem przy użyciu jego nazwiska wielu miejsc na mapie Stanów Zjednoczonych, wystawieniem mu przepięknych pomników i nadaniem honorowego obywatelstwa. Rok obecny jest rokiem jubileuszowym dla całej Polski. Stulecie niepodległej w Muzeum przyłączamy się do tych działań i otwieramy wystawę, która będzie tłem dla obchodów w listopadzie bieżącego roku. Większość z Państwa znamy po imieniu i cieszymy się bardzo, że jesteście dzisiaj z nami. Miejmy nadzieję, że wszyscy oficjalnie przyłączycie się do grona członków wspierających Muzeum Polskie w Ameryce. Życzę Państwu bardzo miłego odbioru. Natomiast w roku obecnym obchodzimy jeszcze także jubileusz 40-lecia wyboru Jana Pawła II na stolicę Piotrową. Przechowujemy w Muzeum Polskim jego relikwie. Powiedział: wolności nie można tylko posiadać. Nie można jej zużywać. Trzeba ją stale zdobywać i tworzyć przez prawdę. To all of our guests, I welcome you to the Polish Museum of America and to the official State of Illinois celebration of Kazimierz Pulaski Day. On behalf of everyone at the PMA, all of our wonderful volunteers, we are grateful that you could join us today on a day honoring the man known as the hero of two countries. Pulaski Day is only one of many annual events hosted by the Polish Museum. I hope that you join us for more events, including our upcoming major fundraiser, Summer Gala. In this great hall alone, you are surrounded by precious art and artifacts telling our Polish and Polish-American past. Look around you. And we easily find an item that speaks to you. Consider adopting it. Seeing to its conservation or restoration. We need everyone's support in preserving these examples of our heritage for all the future generations, and only as a community we can accomplish these goals. Especially in America, where we are a mosaic of various world cultures, we need to be aware of preserving such jewel as ours to hold. Polonia is very important and large part of the metropolitan Chicago area and the United States. Today, we acknowledge the short but rich life of the man known as a hero of two countries. Kazimierz Pulaski came to America to secure a better future, fighting for the independence of an emerging nation, which did not want to be the subject of colonial oppression. He has not able to win his freedom for his homeland in Poland, but his ideals remain relevant here in America. When we consider the accomplishments of great countrymen, Pulaski's words in a letter written to George Washington still ring true. I came here, where freedom is being defended, to serve it and to live or die for it. In his actions, Pulaski was true to these words. If it were not for the tragedy of the Battle of Savannah, right here presented, likely would have done more for the struggle of independence of the United States. I hope that today's celebration have a similar effect of Polish-American community. This year is extremely important to Poland because of the 100th anniversary of the independence. I hope everyone enjoys today's program and will reflect not only on the heroic life of General Kazimierz Pulaski, but also on the 40th anniversary of John Paul II becoming a pope, knowing that the truth and the warriors of freedom were very extremely important to him. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of colors. Proszę o wprowadzenie sztandarów przez Stowarzyszenie Ułanów Polskich imienia generała Tadeusza Kościuszki. The national anthems of the United States of Poland will be performed by soprano Mirosława Sojka-Topór. Born in Polish Tatra mountain region, she is known for the Polish-American community. Marta Pasek, the accompanist, is a talented pianist and demonstrated history of working with Polish music industry. Drogie panie.
Do hymnu.
Jeszcze Polska nie zginęła, kiedy my żyjemy. Co nam obca przemoc wzięła, szablą odbierzemy. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski, za twoim przewodem złączym się z narodem. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski, za twoim przewodem złączym się z narodem. Przejdziem Wisłę, przejdziem Wartę, będziem Polakami. Dał nam przykład Bonaparte, jak zwyciężać mamy. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski, za twoim przewodem złączym się z narodem. Marsz, marsz marsz dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski, za Twoim przewodem złączym się z narodem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets would glow, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Przepięknie. We welcome His Excellency Bishop Andrzej Peter Wypych, Auxiliary Bishop of the Diocese of Chicago. Jego Ekscelencjo.
O Lord our God, you alone are the most holy. We forever offer our prayers and always give you praise and glory. We adore you. We give you thanks for your gift of love for us, your children, as expressed in our Lord Jesus Christ, the Anointed One. We come together on this day of General Kazimierz Pulaski to remember and honor him and the people of the past who added to the common good of our society. We remember General Pulaski for his heroic stand for human freedom and liberty in both Poland and in the American colonies. Even to his death, we learn from his example and others like him that freedom is most precious and worth even the ultimate sacrifice. Be present among us, O Lord, this day and instill in us the zeal to follow you as we work for the good of our country and our society. Soften our hearts and give us ears to hear the call to protect freedom, beginning with the freedom of our conscience and our beliefs, so we may freely express ourselves in your divine presence. We know that only through the work we do together with the example of General Pulaski and people of goodwill, we may build a better place for ourselves and the generations to come. Wszechmogący wieczny Boże, tylko Ty jesteś święty. Wysławiamy Cię, ponieważ jesteś naszym Stwórcą, a my jesteśmy Twoimi stworzeniami. W tym dniu pamięci o generale Kazimierzu Puławskim stajemy razem, aby uczcić pamięć i okazać swą wdzięczność tym, którzy swą postawą wpisali się w historię Polski i Stanów Zjednoczonych, Ameryki Północnej. Tych, którzy zmieniali ówczesną rzeczywistość, dla wspólnego dobra społeczeństwa przyszłości, dla wszystkich nas współcześnie żyjących. Dziś szczególnie wspominamy bohaterską postawę generała Puławskiego w walce o wolność ludzi, jego przelaną krew i śmierć, którą poniósł w walce o tę wolność. Chcemy, aby chwalebny przykład tegoż ojca amerykańskiej kawalerii oraz przykład wielu innych bohaterów jemu podobnych był dla nas lekcją przyswajania sobie prawdy, iż wolność ludzkiej osoby, drogocenna w swej istocie, warta jest poświęcania swego życia w jej obronie. Zmiękcz nasze serca i otwórz nasze uszy, o Panie, abyśmy razem byli wrażliwi na wołanie z głębi naszej woli do stawania, poczynając od wolności sumienia, aż do wolności wyrażania swego człowieczeństwa w Twojej, Boże, obecności przed Twoim świętym majestatem. My mamy świadomość tego, że jedynie dzięki współpracy, w jedności z mocą Ducha Świętego jesteśmy w stanie podążać drogą, którą przed nami wyznaczali swą heroiczną postawą ludzie, tacy jak sam generał Kazimierz Pulaski. Pozwól nam, Boże, budować lepszy świat dla nas samych i przyszłych pokoleń, wykorzystując heroiczne cnoty naszych narodowych bohaterów. Amen.
Serdeczny Bóg zapłać. Thank you, His Excellency. I now introduce Jan Loryś, PMA Director Emeritus, PMA Historian, and expert of all things Polonia. Pan Jan Loryś.
For those of you who've been here since the first Pulaski Day celebrated back in the last century, you'll notice that all our celebrations of Pulaski Day have been unique. Some events in the world find a link, however tenuous, to our hero of two countries and founder of the United States Cavalry. After today's ceremony, the museum will be open a few hours, so please take a tour of our exhibit for the bicentennial of the death of Tadeusz Kościuszko, Pulaski's fellow volunteer, and unlike our hero, he lived and continued the struggle for freedom in his native Poland. When word of Pulaski's death reached General George Washington, he issued the following sign, countersign, which is a way of identifying friend from foe, especially in the nighttime hours. So the sign that one gave was Pulaski, and the countersign was Poland. That date was November 11th, 1779. This year, the Poles in the Polish diaspora and Poland will celebrate the centennial of the rebirth of Poland at the end of World War I, November 11th, 1918. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Loryś. Thank you very much. Please let me introduce today's Masters of Ceremony. Joseph A. Drobot, Jr., National President of the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America and Chairman of the Polish Museum of America, and Richard Owsiany, President of the Polish Museum of America. Szanowni Panowie.
Thank you and welcome. Welcome to this magically wonderful building. Welcome to the Polish Museum of America, a home of history and a home of heroes. Today we come to honor one of those heroes, a hero possessed with courage and fidelity, dedicated to seeking freedom on two continents for two people. A hero who sacrificed his life to reach that goal and to secure that goal. a freedom of expression, and a freedom from tyranny. Welcome to this day of recognition and celebration of the life of General Kazimierz Pulaski. Thank you. And I would like now to have my co-master of ceremonies greet you.
Za naszą I waszą wolność, for your freedom and ours. That rallying slogan has been the calling of Poles to aid the cause of freedom for centuries. General Pulaski, like Kościuszko, brought to our shores a spirit, a daring, a dedication, and a fervor for freedom which inspired the entire command of General George Washington's revolutionary forces. Pulaski belongs to that select group of heroes that includes Lafayette, Paine, Garibaldi, and Kościuszko, who opposed tyranny not only in their homelands, but wherever they lent their talents. The heritage that General Pulaski left to the Americans was a noble one. His legion earned Washington's approval and was a model for the formation of others in subsequent campaigns. The cavalry Pulaski organized became the nucleus for future squadrons and thus earning Pulaski the title Father of the American Cavalry. The tragic death of this Polish and American hero has not erased his deeds from the memory of future generations, either in the old world and new. There is hardly a state in the Union that does not have a county or a town, street or highway, park or school, or monument named in grateful memory to General Pulaski. May the magnificent spirit of General Kazimierz Pulaski continue to inspire all Americans with a sense of duty to country, pride, a spirit of mission, and the never-ending struggle for human dignity and freedom. In such a manner, we Americans can honor this soldier of liberty, this undaunted warrior who sacrificed his life in the cause of American independence. On behalf of the officers, board of directors, members, and staff, I welcome you to the Polish Museum of America to commemorate and pay tribute to the life and the heroic deeds of General Kazimierz Pulaski. It's fitting that in 2018 we celebrate 100 years of regained independence in Poland. And that will be celebrated here throughout Chicago as well as here at the museum. We encourage you to participate and be a part of this incredible campaign and program. To start off our morning session, I'd like to introduce the Governor of the State of Illinois, Bruce Rauner, to officially open Pulaski Day in Illinois. Governor?
Dzień dobry. Happy Pulaski Day. Today we celebrate freedom, we celebrate democracy, we celebrate the strong bond between the people of Poland and the people of the United States. We are very blessed. We are in the presence of heroes today. We are in the presence of war heroes from Poland. We are in the presence of war heroes from the United States of America. If it's possible for you to stand, could you stand? Can we give you a round of applause? Could you stand? Thank you for your service. Today we celebrate the passing of a true American hero and a true Polish hero. A courageous leader who fought for freedom and democracy here in America and in his native Poland. We are so blessed in America. We are a nation of immigrants. We all come from somewhere around the world. We come to America for freedom and opportunity, for a better life for our children and our grandchildren. And we are so blessed in Illinois. We have one of the largest, most vibrant Polish communities anywhere in the world here in the great city of Chicago. And yes. And members of our Polish community are leaders in every walk of life here in Illinois. Leaders in government, in law, in medicine, in the arts, in education, in business. And most significantly, leaders in defense of our freedom. This year, we not only celebrate Kazimierz Pulaski again in his service, but we also celebrate another American hero and Polish hero, General Kościuszko, and his passing in defense of freedom and democracy for the Polish people and for the American people. Now, I am very honored. I am the head of the Illinois National Guard in my role as governor. And there is no stronger partnership, there is no stronger friendship between the Illinois National Guard and the Polish National Guard and the Polish military. We do joint exercises every year. We serve the people of Poland together. We serve the people of Illinois together, and we defend freedom and democracy around the world together. And I'm very proud to say I will be traveling to Europe for the first time in my official role as governor. I will be traveling to Europe in April. And the first nation that I will visit on my trip to Europe is to the great nation of Poland. I am excited. I am so excited. I have never had the honor to visit Poland. I am so looking forward to it. I will visit Warsaw, Krakow, and a number of communities. I am deeply honored by the opportunity, and I look forward to expanding the friendship and partnership between the people of Poland and the people of Illinois, so we can expand trade, tourism, investment, economic opportunity, and cultural exchange and education exchange in every way that we can. I am also very honored and excited, Consul General Janicki. I will be joining our Consul General from the great nation of Poland in May. We are very honored and excited. The President of Poland and the First Lady of Poland will be coming to Chicago the third week in May, and I am honored and excited to look forward to meet with the President of Poland and spend time here in the great city of Chicago. I look forward to that. The values of our Polish-American community are the values that help make America the greatest nation on earth. Belief in freedom, belief in democracy, faith, family, hard work, belief in education, belief in justice, belief in making a better life for our children and our grandchildren. Our Polish-American community is the foundation with values that make America the greatest nation on earth. It is an honor for me to work for you. I look forward to celebrating with you today and every day. Let us celebrate freedom, democracy, and the strong friendship and partnership between the people of Poland and the people of the United States. God bless you all. God bless the great nation of Poland. God bless the people of Illinois, and God bless the United States of America. Dziękuję. Dziękuję.
As we continue this morning's program, there have been some adjustments and some changes to the agenda. If you could please understand that the senator from the state of Illinois, Richard Durbin, is not in attendance, will not be in attendance. Honorable Michael Quigley, representative from the 5th District, has also been called away. Honorable Timothy Evans will not be here, nor will the Honorable Jesse White. So please make those adjustments to your agenda. It gives me honor and pleasure to introduce the next speaker this morning, a man that I've come to know over the last 18 months, a man who's been embraced by the Polonia of Chicago and embraced by all Americans in the great city of Chicago, the Honorable Consul General Piotr Janicki from the Republic of Poland in Chicago. Mr. Janicki.
Thank you very much. If I can have advice for Mr. Governor, pack your suitcase lights, because you'll be bringing a lot of souvenirs from Krakow. This is my hometown, and I'll be happy to tell you more about my home city. Szanowni Państwo, ladies and gentlemen, it is always a great honor to be here at the Polish Museum. And I'm excited because we are going to celebrate big time this year. Not only Polish President is coming in May to have an open meeting for Polonia on May 19th, but we will also celebrate in November 100 years of our regained independence. Poles and Polish Americans have a rich history of fighting for freedom, liberty, and equality. From Kazimierz Pulaski and Tadeusz Kościuszko, who helped America with its independence from Britain, to Ignacy Jan Paderewski, concert pianist, statesman, and freedom fighter, to Jan Karski, humanity's hero who risked his life to bring proof of German Nazi extermination camps to the West, to Pope John Paul II, who was integral in bringing down communism and the Soviet Union. Poles have been in the forefront of the struggle for justice and liberty. Kazimierz Pulaski Day is celebrated in Chicago on the first Monday in March. This year offers an opportunity to expose all Americans not only to a contribution made by Pulaski to America, but to contributions that Poles and Polish Americans have made to Chicago, the United States, and the world. For some of us, Pulaski is a little-known hero of the Revolutionary War. Kazimierz Pulaski was born in Poland on March 4th, 1745, after opposing Prussians and Russians in interference in Poland. He was declared an outlaw, and he left Poland to travel to Paris. In Paris, Pulaski became friends with Benjamin Franklin, a spokesperson for American colonies trying to obtain their freedom from English rule. Pulaski, familiar with people's deep desire for freedom and opposition to tyranny, volunteered his services to an army of the continental Americans. Pulaski arrived in Philadelphia in 1777 and was later made the head of American cavalry by George Washington. In a time when new Continental Army was struggling to pay its bills, he bought equipment and used his own funds to equip his cavalry. His action proved his dedication to his men and his new country. He was helping in his quest for freedom. General Kazimierz Pulaski was mortally wounded by the cannon during the Battle of Savannah on October 9th, 1779, and died 6 days later on October 15th at the young age of 34. In the summer of 2017, President Donald Trump visited Poland and said, "Our two countries share a special bond forged by unique histories and national characters. It's a fellowship that exists only among people who have fought and bled and died for freedom." The signs of this friendship stands in our nation's capitals, just steps from the White House. We've raised statues for men with names like Pulaski and Kościuszko. The same is true in Warsaw, where streets signs carry the name of George Washington. The President's words are a testament to the strong relationship between Poland and the United States that has been cultivated for more than 240 years. The most valuable thing for the nation is a free, sovereign, and independent country. But it also works the other way. The most precious thing for the country is to have the people that have a desire to keep their country independent and strong. That's who we are. We have a right to be proud of that. Join us in the celebration of our regained independence this year as we are approaching our centennial anniversary. Long live free and independent Poland, our great country. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mayor of the City of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel.
Thank you for that introduction. I do want to say a couple things that are very, very important on this Pulaski Day, which is different than other times that we've ever celebrated. As we approach the centennial and we mark the centennial of independence for Poland, to receive the President in the middle of the spring will be an honor for the City of Chicago And we just started Friday the planning together with the leadership in the Polish community, my administration, how to make sure that this visit is a memorable experience for the President of Poland, and it speaks volumes that of all the cities to visit in the centennial. As I always say about Chicago, we are the most American of American cities because we're the most Polish of Polish cities. And it reminds me of the fight when we were fighting, and I led the effort in Congress for the visa waiver. Never treat a first-class friend like a second-class citizen. So we celebrate, yes, the fight for freedom. I would just note, since General Pulaski was not born here, General Pulaski immigrated to the United States. We would call him one of the first dreamers in the United States because he believed in the American dream. He believed in democracy, he believed in freedom, he believed in liberty. And we always must remember that freedom is not free, it's worth fighting for. And the respect for the rule of law, and also the importance of bringing people who all over the world, whether that journey is across the Atlantic, like my grandfather made, whether that journey is across the Pacific, across the Rio, or up the Mississippi. It is the power of the ideals of America. It was not a place. It's a set of values and a set of ideas. And we, here in a museum that tells the story of the Polish people, must be respectful of history, not just because it's history, but as a flashlight and a floodlight to the future that we want to build together. And the most important way of building that future together is to remember the values that bind us and the experiences, whether it's fighting for freedom, for independence, the importance of liberty, but also the importance of people to have a voice in their government. And so here in a museum that is a reflection on history, I think it's important that we all learn from history as a guidepost to the future we want to build together. So normally on holidays, it's time to relax. I cannot think of a more respectful way of taking a holiday, but to learn from the past as a guide and a roadmap to a future that respects the values that brings us together. And may Chicago always be a home to immigrants, like they were for my grandfather and my father. A place that welcomes people that believe that their children can have a better tomorrow, and that we all collectively today fight for that tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Emanuel. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody here today is a VIP. You're all very special. You're supporters of our causes and leaders of various different elements that take place day to day. But I'd like to acknowledge the ladies and gentlemen sitting behind us here on the dais. Not only do we have elected officials, but more importantly, we have the leadership of Polonia. And these are individuals who spend time, effort, to make sure that our contributions and our ideas are heard throughout Chicagoland, Illinois, and the United States. Please give them a round of applause for our leaders of Polonia. As I mentioned, we have many elected officials here tonight, not only sitting in the dais, but also in the audience. And we consider you friends. And as friends, we welcome you to our home. And we hope that you remember us in the future, that it's not a one-time occasion that we come for Pulaski Day and then we don't see you. We want to make sure that we welcome you back to the museum anytime, and more importantly, become a member of the Polish Museum of America. I'd like to introduce our good friend, the president of the Cook County Board, Tony Preckwinkle.
Thank you. Good morning. As some of you may know, I'm a history teacher by profession. So it's important to me to acknowledge and recognize our heroes in American history. And Kazimierz Pulaski was surely one of those heroes. He was a hero to America, he was a hero to Poland. As a history teacher, I always said to my students, America is a great nation because people have come from all over the world to make it so. People have come from all over the world to make it so. And I think it's important for us to remember on this day and in this time the important contributions that immigrants have made to our country, and to welcome and embrace and support our newest immigrants, especially at a time when the President of the United States describes immigrants from Mexico as first and foremost rapists and murderers, at a time when he says terrible, denigrating things about immigrants from Haiti and from Africa. Those of us who believe that this country is great because of its diversity need to stand up and speak out. Especially those who have come here from other places in the world that the President finds more acceptable. Good Americans come in all descriptions, and all of us should remember that people came from all over the world to make this country a great nation. People will continue to come to this country to make it a great nation from all over the world. And those of us who believe that it is a great nation need to welcome and embrace and support them, particularly in this time. Thank you.
The next gentleman I would like to introduce is a friend of mine and also a friendly competitor in the Polish community for the hearts and dollars of Polish American citizens. Mr. Spula is president of the Polish National Alliance, a fraternal benefit society similar to the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, a fraternal benefit society. And I must tell you, we are friends. So please, Mr. Spula.
Thanks. Dzień dobry. Hey, good morning, distinguished guests, elected officials, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you very much for that very cordial introduction, because Mr. Drobat and I are really friends. Not only as fraternal friends, but personal friends as well. We are friendly competition, because there's enough people within the Chicagoland community that we can all be part and parcel of fraternal organizations. So we are one family, one group, as just we are in this room as well. And that's what brings us here this morning. What brings us here? It's our commitment, it's our loyalty to who? To the Polish causes, to Kazimierz Pulaski himself. And we really pay tribute to him for the cause of American independence. We pay tribute for that to him. He was born of wealth and privilege, and he sacrificed all that for what? For freedom. First in Poland and then here in America. There were no personal advantages to him to gain, not at all. But it was for the fact that he was committed to causes. And that's what we can learn from. From an early age, he was an accomplished military leader in his teens. When we know the history, as a young guy, he already knew the value of being committed to causes. The truths for which he fought for back then are just as valid today. We can admire people like Kazimierz Pulaski and use them as a model for our children, for our grandchildren, who came to a foreign land not being an American, not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, but trying to make a difference. And that's what is so important for us to learn from that lesson. He hated tyranny. That's why he was here. We live in a world, as we heard earlier, with multiple cultures and values. Everyone has a different system, different value system, but we we have one thing in common, and that's liberty and justice. It's a common theme that General Pulaski had, and that's what we have all within our own cultures, within our own ethnicities. It's rarely that heroes live a long time, and Kazimierz Pulaski did die at a relatively young age. At 34, he lost his life. But we can take a lesson from what he represented in achieving goals, commitment to high ideals, loyalty to country. And I use that word loyalty, and that's so important to have loyalty to your country of origin, whether it's Poland or the United States. And for most of us in this room, both. We can have the loyalty to both and be totally respectful of that. We've heard so many comments about Pulaski this morning. And we need to look at this collectively, objectively as well. This year, as we've heard we had the Council General talk about the upcoming anniversary of Poland, the 100th anniversary. That's something for us to be proud of, where actually Poland regained its independence after 123 years of partitions and regained a rightful spot on the map of Europe. Our own state this year is celebrating its bicentennial celebration. You know, a home of two presidents. You know, we've had President Lincoln and President Obama, something for us as residents of Illinois to be proud of. Now, we take a look at also this coming year, as Council Yanitsky mentioned, as well as the speakers, that President Duda is coming here again. And that's a celebration for us as well, for the President of Duda to come here to our own city, to our multi-language city of Americans and so many other ethnicities. And again, it's something for us to all get committed in. Also, this month we have elections taking place. We have several candidates in the audience. We have elected officials that are sitting behind me. Well, we need to be engaged as a community to what? To vote, guys. We need to vote and have our voices heard, because if we don't vote, we don't count. So again, I urge you, I can't stress that enough, how much our involvement is so important, whether to serve on local community boards, on your church groups, on your school boards, chambers of commerce. Get involved and don't be a Monday morning quarterback. General Pulaski, if he were alive, he would certainly what? Urge every one of you in this room to vote. And he would make sure that he voted only once, not twice like sometimes happens in Chicago. Oh, yes, okay. That's an old joke from going back years ago, guys. I am a Chicagoan. In closing, Kazimierz Pulaski could have played a much greater role in Chicago in our history, if he would have been spared and had a few more years to live. But unfortunately, he was taken at a young age. You know, his genius and devotion to our country, North America at that time. He was a great patriot, committed to freedom. We're blessed as a nation to have someone like him and many others come here and dedicate their lives so that you and I can be free as one. You know, we owe our thanks to the many men and women who serve in the armed forces, to our police departments. And you know, also, you know, right in front of me, I have a good friend that I've known for many years, Ted Terlikowski. He's just celebrated his 100th birthday a few months ago. Panie Terlikowski, gratulujemy I dziękujemy panu. And sitting next to him is also a veteran, very much involved in the Polish community, Mr. Golinski. Również dziękuję panu za obsługę dla Polonii. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate Pulaski Day as we move forward as a community. Let's never forget the heroes that have made our nation, our country so different. This museum itself is part of Chicago's fabric, and we need to support that as well. And I say that because this is our relic. It's something that we need to respect, this entire room as well. Once again, happy Pulaski Day. God bless you all, and let's hope together. Let's remember, as one group, we're united. God bless you all.
I'd like to acknowledge two people who are here today, very important people to the museum, two past presidents, Joseph Żurawski and Maria Cieśla, who are here today. And Maria's back here, and Joe, I think, is someplace in the audience there. You know, as president of the Polish Museum, I'm always very happy when our members get engaged in our activities and help us, you know, in our mission. And it's important that our members do get involved. And our next speaker is a member who has been involved with us for many, many years. She last year co-chaired as honorary co-chair of our summer gala. And she's been supportive of us for close to 30 years. We appreciate her work, we appreciate her support, and she's always out there speaking on behalf of the Polish Museum. Ladies and gentlemen, the Treasurer of Cook County, Maria Pappas.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I just love coming here. I've been coming here for 30 years. 30 years ago, I was skinny and I had long hair. And when I walked in here 30 years ago, there were 3 giants in the room. Rowan Paczynski, Ted Lekowitz, and Dan Rostenkowski. They walked in here, they supported this museum, they loved their community, they worked for the immigrants, and they made these halls what they are today. So, it's an election year, and for those of you who weren't here 30 years ago, I just wanted to remind you of those three giants. We had a crisis in the office this week. It was the due date, and the online system went down. And when the online system goes down and 100,000 people are trying to pay, it means you're in trouble. So I called my top leadership into the office, and I said, we're in trouble. And I looked up, and I realized that 5 of them were Polish. Hardworking, head to the ground. I really believe in this place. And I got a hold of one of my friends, Tom Sienna's here, at breakfast. But it can't work on words. This museum cannot work on words. It has to work on money. So to the leadership, here's a $1,000 check from me and a $1,000 check from Tom Sienna's there. So everybody follows suit, you know. I mean, there's lots of things that you can give to today. But Chicago is a better place because of this museum on Milwaukee Avenue. Thank you. Finally, it's the 100th year. It's the 100th year of the anniversary. So on rare occasion, it is that I am with Polish people and somebody doesn't sing 100 lat. 100 lat actually means 100 years. So I have passed it out to everybody behind me because I want all the politicians to learn this. And I'm going to ask the gal who's going to come and help me sing this. Come on, everybody, let's all do 100 lat for the 100th anniversary. You know, there's nothing like getting an ethnic crowd together, but to sing their song. And this is your song, so come on. Let's all get up here. All right.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3. 100 lat, 100 lat, niech żyje, żyje nam. 100 lat, 100 lat, dzień żyje, żyje nam. Jeszcze raz, niech żyje, żyje nam. Niech żyje nam. I love you guys. I love you guys. Thanks. You got the checks, right?
Yes. Yes, Maria, we do have the checks. Thank you very much. You know, Maria has been supporting us for like close to 30 years, and I just want, if some of you were here several years back when Maria gave her speech in Polish, do you remember that? Oh my God, that was one of the best speeches of the afternoon there. Thank you, Maria.
Our next speaker this afternoon is the Honorable Michael Frerichs, Treasurer of the State of Illinois. Michael? Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you again. Dzień dobry. I want to thank you very much, the Polish Museum of America, for inviting me here today. I want to thank Consul General Janicki. I was going to thank you for not having me speak behind Alderman Rebrojas, who also frequently gives speeches in Polish. But then I have to follow 100 lat. So I'm not so sure. Ja nie mówię po polsku, so I will speak in English. Today we honor Kazimierz Pulaski. We honor his contributions to our country, to our society. But we also honor the contributions of Poles and Polish Americans to their contributions to our society. And they bring values of patriotism, service, and sacrifice that we want to honor here today. You know, it was the late Pope John Paul II who said that freedom should be safeguarded with truth and with justice. I think that's what Polish Americans have done in our country. You know, we are joined, this is not just history, we are joined by contemporary Polish Americans. We also lift up and honor for their contributions. But this is a special year in 2018. It is the 200th anniversary of the state of Illinois. It is the 100th anniversary of the restoration of Polish independence. It is not the start of Polish independence, it was the restoration, as Poland had been independent many centuries beforehand. But also it's a special year in my office. I am the Illinois State Treasurer, and this year, the Polish Daily News chose to honor one of my employees as a Person of the Year. And I want to point out the contributions of Barbara Hauko. Now, Barbara, I can tell you, is blushing and she's shaking her head. She doesn't like this. I didn't tell her I was going to do this. But it's not so much about Barbara. It's about the contributions of people who have come to this country and who have served this country. She served our state. She serves her community. She serves the Scouts. It is that service ethic that is so special to our state. And so Barbara has frequently told me, this is not about me, this is about the Scouts. And this is exactly what today is about people who put sacrifice and service to their community above themselves. That's what truly makes America great. It's the issues, freedom, patriotism, service, and sacrifice. And Barbara, I want to thank you very much for honoring and exemplifying all of those qualities. So thank you very much for letting me do that to you today. Thank you for inviting me here today. Dziękuję.
The Polish Museum of America relies on many different organizations, individuals, to make a lot of things happen. We have partners. One of our longest standing partners is the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America. We're grateful for the support that they've been giving us since the very beginning. You know, they're the organization that founded the museum back in 1935 and allowed the museum to grow to what you see here today. You know, the museum back then was in a one room on the second floor here, where today we have the Paderewski room. And we're grateful to the Polish Roman Catholic Union for all the support. And the 80 years of hard work that they've put into making sure that the museum is always on that face of the map, where it's always open and available for Poles and non-Poles to come and see. But we have other partners throughout, you know, that have helped us over the course of the years. And one of our most important partners on Pulaski Day is PNC Bank. And I'd like to introduce Ina Murray, who's the Executive Vice President of Retail Banking from PNC. Ina?
Thank you. And good morning, everyone. PNC Bank is pleased to be a part of this special celebration honoring General Pulaski. You know, we've celebrated this event with you for many years now, and I'm always so honored and so amazed to see the support from the greater Chicagoland community. One of the great attributes that makes Chicago special is its diversity of culture. And today, we're celebrating one of the most prominent, the Polish culture. At PNC, our goal is to be a community partner that continues to add value for our Polish customers. In fact, PNC Bank has been serving the Polish community for over 100 years. With hundreds of Polish-speaking employees, PNC offers in-language services at nearly 40 branches throughout the Chicagoland area. And we're proud of our long-standing community partnerships like the one we have with the Polish Museum of America. Today, we pledge our support to the museum's preservation efforts of Polish culture and heritage for Polish American generations in Chicago and to honor our true hero, General Pulaski. Thank you.
Thank you, Ina. Thank you, PNC Bank. We have a very special moment right now. I'd like to introduce Brigadier General Cezary Wiśniewski and Lieutenant Colonel Karol Sobczyk, who are the Deputy Defense and Military Attaché of the Embassy of the Republic of Poland. Gentlemen.
Dzień dobry. It's a great honor for me and a privilege to be here among the distinguished guests, veterans, and the friends. And thank you for that. I would like to say a few words about the Polish-US military relations, which actually starts with General Pulaski and Kościuszko when they came to the United States and fought for the freedom, for the United States freedom. So I'm not sure if you know that, but right now in Poland, we have more than 4,000 US troops, the army members who actually train in Poland and build the partnership and the relationship between our countries and between our military. But the most important goal for them is actually deterrence. They deter the friends in this, they deter the threats in this part of the world. And actually the presence of the US troops in Poland make this part of the Europe more safe and secure. And I would like to thank you, all of you, for support of this deployment and the US presence in Poland. Thank you very much. But this year is really unique from our perspective. Of course, it's the 100th anniversary of the Polish regaining the independence. It's a 200th anniversary of the great Illinois state to be set up. This is as well 25th anniversary of the establishing of the state partnership programs. In this program, which was established by US Department of Defense, the great state of Illinois and Poland, we are a partner in the military-to-military relations. The Illinois National Guard support us since then. We have a lot of trainings together. The people are deployed to United States or to Poland for the common activity, which makes our military better, which makes us more capable and more ready to operate together across the world. So thank you very much for the state of Illinois and the National Guard of the Illinois for supporting us during the last 25 years. But today, actually, there is one more reason why I'm here and to celebrate the Pulaski Day with you. By the way, the happy Pulaski Day. The reason for that is that among us there's the hero, the veterans who got promotion recently. I would like to introduce you the man who joined the Polish Air Force in 1937. He joined the Polish 1st Aviation Regiment in Warsaw. He fought with Germans in Poland in September 1939. He fled to France. He was a part of the 145 Squadron in France. And after that, he moved to Great Britain. He became the member of the 303 Squadron. The squadron which shot down more German fighters than any other British squadron during the Battle of Britain. Let me introduce the Captain Tadeusz Terlikowski. On behalf of the Polish Ministry of the National Defense, I would like to announce the promotion to the rank of captains. Congratulations, sir, and thank you for your dedicated, distinguished service to the Polish Air Forces. Thank you. Thank you. Nicely done. Dziękuję za czas.
Thank you, General, and a well-deserved promotion for Captain Terlikowski. I've known Pan Trennikowski for many, many years, going back to when I was a young boy. And always with a smile, always with a positive attitude, and no wonder he's made it to 100 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our next speaker has become a new friend for the last several years, and we always are happy when we see her here at the museum and at Polish American events. Ladies and gentlemen, the Comptroller of the State of Illinois, Susanna Mendoza.
Captain, congratulations. Wow, he, by the way, looks amazing for 100. Just amazing. I don't want to drop your water here. I'm Illinois Comptroller Susanna Mendoza. Dzień dobry. It is wonderful to be here again and to hear so many people recount the amazing heroics of General Kazimierz Pulaski. I will tell you, though, that it is particularly fun for me at this time in my life to get to relive the heroics of this amazing man through the eyes of a 5-year-old. My son, who is half Polish, Davide Szostak, David as we call him at home, yes, he is 5 years old now. He's learning every day so many things. You know, you can imagine, you as parents know what I'm talking about. And this weekend has been dedicated to teaching him more about his heritage, his roots, who he is, what he should be proud of. He's half Mexican from my mom and dad, and half Polish from his father and my husband's parents. And today, when I was getting him ready for school, I was so proud, and he was so proud to wear his Polonia shirt and to put on his Polonia coat as he left the door, and to tell all his friends at school when he would show up. They always look at what he's wearing. He has like Transformers jackets and all different kinds of clothes. But today it was all about Polonia for him because we were talking about General Kazimierz Pulaski this weekend. Now there's another thing that he's wearing today, and that is a Band-Aid on his eye. And that is because over the weekend, our son was fascinated with the fact that General Pulaski was the head of the cavalry and got to ride on a horse and do so with a sword. And he pretended that he was General Kazimierz Pulaski this weekend and had a little bit of an accident, falling off of his imaginary horse and hitting his eye on the corner of a piece of furniture, cutting his eye open and having a black eye today. So while normally today we would have a beautiful family picture in his red and white, probably not today, because the black eye doesn't look so good. But it is what I called a battle scar. It's a battle scar that he should be proud to wear, and he can tell his friends at school a little bit about this hero of two countries and what it means to fight for freedom, to fight for dignity, to fight for others at the cost of the greatest cost, your own life. My son is learning about heroes, and it makes me so proud as a mother to know that one of his greatest heroes will be a hero that he can relate to as a Polish-American boy growing up in this wonderful state of Illinois. So I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to be a part of your community, to get to represent you in my capacity as your state comptroller, but also I feel very connected, if not by birth, certainly by marriage and certainly by motherhood, to this beautiful Polish community, and I thank you for welcoming me into it. Thank you and God bless.
Looks like we have another Polish hero, huh? I would like to call upon a very good friend, a friend of mine that I've met several years ago, a friend who represents diversity, a friend who tries to speak Polish, and we hope that he has something in Polish to say to us this morning. I'm going to introduce to you now, where is he? Ariel Raboris, Alderman Ariel Raboris.
How can you miss me? looked right over you.
Thank you. I found this on the floor. Little do you know that State Treasurer Frerick and I are twins. He was my tower yesterday when I took the polar plunge. First of all, I want to thank you all for having me here again. I want to thank Consul General Yanitsky for being a contact person when Duda visits United States, Chicago. So thank you for that. I had the pleasure of welcoming President Kaczynski when he came to Chicago, and I'll never forget that. And I'm looking forward to that same scenario if the time allows it. But I want to thank you, and I want to say something real quick in Polish. I feel I have to. I don't know who wrote this, but I found this on the seat. Ja jestem Aldemana Wojdas. Witam. Chciałem serdecznie przywitać wszystkie przybyłe, aby uhonorować życie działalność Kazimierza Pulaskiego. Ze serca dziękuję za możliwość udziału w tej wspaniałej uroczystości. Podsumowując, w szczególności się wyrazić uznanie dla kolei Polonii za pobranie nie przez te wszystkie lata. Bóg zapłać. Dziękuję bardzo.
Our next speaker is a true daughter of Polonia. She comes from a family that has been patriotic and active in Chicago, Polonia since the beginning of the 20th century. Her grandmother was a fierce patriot here in Chicago during World War I and World War II and leading through her whole life. Her father was a very distinguished congressman and alderman of the city of Chicago. She continues in that spirit, promoting Polonia, promoting Polish causes, and I'd like to introduce the Honorable Aurelia Puczynski.
Dzień dobry. To truly honor Kazimierz Pulaski, we must focus not on how he died, but how he lived. Pulaski was an activist. He was a troublemaker. He did not sit on the sidelines and complain. He did something. He fought against Russian oppression, and it cost him his home. He came to the colonies to fight for independence, and it cost him his life. But he made choices. He got involved. He provided intelligence and leadership. He gave his own money to supply his troops. Nothing he did was easy. Nothing that we do to preserve and protect democracy should be easy. We must also make choices to be involved in our community, not just Polonia, but our giant community, Chicago, Illinois, the nation. Not as soldiers, I'm not asking you to get on horses with swords, but as informed, intelligent citizens who get right in the middle of things, and as President Spula said, to vote. If we want better schools, we have to be involved. If we want safer schools and neighborhoods, we must be vocal and tell our elected officials what we expect of them. If we want Polish language voting instructions in time for the November elections, we have to tell these aldermen, the mayor, President Preckwinkle, Governor Rauner, we want it, we demand it. 900,000 Illinois residents trace their heritage to Poland, and we need Polish language voting instructions. To Pulaski, we must make the choice to be seen in action. Sitting back and waiting for someone else to do it would have doomed the colonies. Sitting back and waiting for someone else to give Polonia the full respect it deserves will not get us anywhere. Pulaski taught us that action, not talk, makes the difference. Let us leave here today committed to action. No other choice is enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Ori. As I mentioned earlier, the Polish Museum of America relies on many different individuals, organizations, and partners. And one of our newest partners I'd like to welcome to the Polish Museum of America is the Polish and Slavic Federal Credit Union. I'd like to call upon the President and CEO, Bogdan Chmielewski, for a few comments.
Dzień dobry Państwu. I am probably the only New Yorker at this event, but this is just an example how the word about this wonderful event traveled through the States. And I'm being honored to be here and represent the Polish and Slavic Federal Credit Union, the largest ethnic credit union in the United States. As many of you know, my organization became 8 years ago, became the integral and I believe very important part of the Polonia in Chicago. And I already see so many members of my credit union among the audience today. However, the banking privacy law doesn't allow me to mention any names, of course. I'd like to thank the management and the employees of the Polish Museum in America for the wonderful job they do here. It's so important that we, as the American of Polish descent, as the Polish Americans, promote Polish culture, Polish history, and Polish contribution to the freedom to the entire American society. And we have examples even from the most recent weeks or days, when even the most important media or politicians, they are very confused about our history. And they just even present Poland as an aggressor, where in fact we were the victims. So again, it's our job to make sure that the Polish history and Polish culture is known in true to the entire American community. And as it was said at the beginning, General Pulaski was an immigrant, and he dedicated what he had the most important, his life, to this country. We as current immigrants, we are here not only to take the advantage of the most wonderful country in the world, of the opportunities that are created are here, but we also contribute our hard work, our culture, our values, what we brought from our motherland, and if necessary, we also fight for the freedom. Again, thank you very much for the invitation, and I'm very proud to be here. Do widzenia.
At this time, I would like to invite a friend of Polonia, a friend of the Polish Museum of America, who was a member of the Polish Museum of America, and a friend of mine, Dorothy Brown.
Dzień dobry, and good morning. It is an honor to be here at the Polish Museum of America for the celebration of Kazimierz Pulaski Day in Illinois with many of my friends who I see in the audience. I want to thank the chair, Mr. Drubot, who is a great friend of mine, and also Ms. Shani, the president. And I'd like to certainly recognize the other elected officials that are here, and Mr. Frank Spula, who is also a friend of mine, and Mr. Richard Adis, who is of my office, and of course you all know Marianne Samo, and she retired this past year, but I'd also like to honor her. I am honored to have this opportunity to take part in this ceremony honoring Brigadier General Kazimierz Pulaski, an experienced military leader from Poland who valiantly offered his services in support of our country and the American Revolution. General Pulaski paid the ultimate price for freedom, giving his life as a result of the Battle of Savannah in 1779. We honor Pulaski because of his determination. His determination and courageousness represents the universal ideal of passionate resistance to oppression, something I know about as an African American here in the United States of America. Pulaski, the father of the American cavalry, is known for composing the motto, "For your freedom and ours," a powerful mantra that echoes the American Declaration of Liberty for all. As an American citizen who is grateful to experience and live in America, a country with many citizens who fight hard every day to help everyone enjoy the rights that we are guaranteed, the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm honored to pay tribute to Pulaski today, and it is with great pleasure that I join with the Polish American Museum of America, other Illinois elected officials, members of the Polish American community, and the state of Illinois at large in this commemoration of the life of a legendary and heroic man of Poland, Kazimierz Pulaski. God bless you. Thank you. Dziękuję.
As you probably are aware, we have many Polish elected officials throughout the county, in the city, and the state of Illinois. I'd like to call upon one of the most recognizable names in the Polish community. You've probably been to his establishment over the years, his family's establishment out in Niles. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Niles, Andrew Przybyło.
Thank you, PRCU and the museum staff for having this once again in their facility. It's an honor to be standing in front of you. I actually didn't know that I was going to be giving remarks, but I'm happy to do it. It occurred to me sitting there and speaking so eloquently how they came before me that Kazimierz Pulaski gave his life for this country. And it occurred to me that there is no greater gift except the gift of life. Did he know that he was going to die on that fateful day leading that charge? He didn't know, but he knew that he was putting his life in mortal danger. And so that gift is what he's given America, and he's given to the Polish American community, who can stand here and be so proud to be Polish Americans. I'm a second generation Polish American. My grandparents were born in Poland. They came here. My parents were born here, and my father served in World War II. And he taught us pride. My grandparents taught us pride in being a Polish American and to give to the community and to be proud. My two children, you know, I have probably the most difficult name in this audience because I have no vowels except for one at the very end of the name, and so invariably you have to be proud to keep that name alive, and both my children have, and I suspect they always will. You know, as a small town mayor, we're very diverse in Niles. We have 4 sister cities, one from Greece, one from Italy, Pisa, one in Ireland, and one in Poland, Limanova. Our town is very diverse. We have Assyrians, Italian Americans, we have Asians, we have all kind of mixing pot of ethnicities in Niles. And part of our plan, our 2030 comprehensive plan, is to inspire culture, and there's no greater exhibit of culture than one's ethnicity, in my opinion. So the village tries to promote all ethnic groups, the Italians, the Greeks, the Assyrians. We're always going out of our way to do that, and I suspect the Koreans are going to come and say we'd like to have a sister city, as a matter of fact they already have, with a city in South Korea. And having said all that, pride is what the message is. The fact that the Village of Niles, the board, and State Representative John D'Amico from Springfield we were able to get 2 portions of Niles Street's Milwaukee Avenue dedicated in honor of Wojciech Severin, who was instrumental in the Katyn Forest Monument at St. Adalbert's. He passed away, died in that plane crash with the president. And the family came, and I went to John D'Amico, and our board of trustees was on board. And then later on, folks in the Polish community came and said, we need to honor General Anders. Well, I didn't know General Anders, but it seemed like a good idea. And again, the state of Illinois stepped in and passed a resolution to do that. Those are the things that pride can do, because I hope that every child traveling in their mom and dad's car will see the signs celebrating lives of giving, giving, giving Polish Americans. Thank you.
As you can see, we have many different elected officials from various offices. I'd like to call upon the Representative Robert Martwick to speak on behalf of the Illinois Legislature.
Dzień dobry. One of the interesting challenges of being one of the last speakers is trying to find something that people haven't already said. So as we think about General Pulaski and the great contribution that he made, I'm going to talk about how that contribution, that fighting for freedom, preserving that freedom, how that transitioned into our modern lives. And I'm going to do that through the story of another great Polish American, Mr. Rostenkowski. You notice I didn't say Congressman Rostenkowski, because I'm talking about his grandfather, Piotr. Now, Congressman Rostenkowski loved to tell the story about his grandfather, who was the leader of local political organization right here in this neighborhood. And as Polish Americans would come in droves emigrating here to the United States, the congressman's grandfather would meet them, and he was very active in his community, not just supporting the churches and supporting local sports teams, but helping those Poles that had just arrived, helping them find a place to live, helping them find employment, helping them get settled. And the Polish Americans in this community were they had such great love for all of the great work that he did that Congressman Dan Rostenkowski used to love to tell the story that he would hear from Polish Americans that when they took the citizenship test and they got to the question about who the President of the United States was, they said, well, that must be Piotr Rostenkowski, because no one with that much power and that much kindness would do so much and only ask in return that we vote. And so it was that great sacrifice of General Pulaski to allow us to have this freedom, and that freedom was the freedom to choose our own government, not to have one imposed upon us. And so I want to echo the sentiments of my friend Mr. Spula, who spoke so eloquently about the need of us as Polish Americans to vote. But I want to go one step further. Because in a democracy, I have a saying that you get the government that you deserve. And if you don't like it, you can change it. But it's up to you to change it. No one is going to change it for you. That is the freedom that General Pulaski gave his life for. And so whatever your beliefs are, whatever your ideology is, whatever you would like to see out of your government, I ask you as my fellow Polish Americans, step up, do more, involve yourself in our government, and make it the one that you want it to be. Because that was the dream that Kazimierz Pulaski gave his life for. Dziękuję.
One thing that the representative didn't completely conclude as it relates to Piotr Rostenkowski being president, he was a president of the Polish Roman Catholic Union during those times. So we must recognize that. As we're reaching the end of our presentation this afternoon, our last speaker is no less important to the Polish Museum because we reside in his ward. And therefore, I would ask you for a warm welcome to Mr. Walter Burnett, our alderman. Mr. Burnett.
Dzień dobry. On behalf of myself and Secretary of State Jesse White, to the Bishop, to the Consul General, to all of the elected officials here, I'd be remiss if I did not acknowledge the Alderman who was here. He left, but Alderman Telefero, Chris Telefero, had to leave, but he was here. It gives me a great pleasure to be here. I want to congratulate Mr. Dobot, right, on all of the great work that he does here with the Polish Union and also with the Polish Museum. I'm very blessed to be the alderman over here, and I'm very blessed to be the alderman at this time when the Polish Museum had the opportunity to sell a piece of property adjoining this property for a substantial amount of money, which will help the Polish Museum and also the Polish Union to be here and sustain themselves for many years. So I'm very happy to have played just a small part in that. You know, I grew up in Cabrini Green, but I went to a school down the street called Wells High School. So I had the opportunity to go to school with a lot of Polish people. But then as a teenager, I also worked with a lot of Polish guys. I used to be a janitor. So I know a lot of Polish words. Some of them you don't want me to say here today. But I'm always inspired on this day when I hear the stories about Kazimierz Pulaski and how he stood up and fought for freedoms. And you know, the inspirational part about it is that he didn't just fight for Polish people's freedom. He fought for everyone in America's freedom, including me. And I just want to say, I'm so grateful to him and so inspired that one can give of himself for so many other people, even generations that he may not know. Is such a wonderful thing. So I just want to say God bless Kazimierz Pulaski and Dziękuję and do Widzenia.
Thank you, Alderman. As we come close to the conclusion of our program, I'd like to acknowledge the staff of the Polish Museum of America and our volunteers. Without them, this event would not have been able to take place. The work and dedication that they have makes this place run, and I really appreciate it. Thank you to all who helped put this thing together this morning. Thank you. In concluding our ceremony today, we'd like to pay homage to General Kazimierz Pulaski by laying a wreath. Today's wreath will be presented by the Kościuszko Guards acting as the honor guards, Consul Piotr Janicki, President of the Polish Roman Catholic Union and Chairman of the Polish Museum of America, Joseph Drobot, Mr. Zygmunt Goliński, a veteran of World War II, and Frank Spula, President of the Polish National Alliance and President of the Polish American Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can please rise. Please be seated. On behalf of the Polish Museum of America and the Polish Roman Catholic Union, thank you very much for attending today's ceremonies honoring Kazimierz Pulaski. We hope you continue today. If you would like, please stay and take a tour of the museum. We'll be open for several hours. Please support the museum by becoming a member. We ask you that, in order for us to do our job, we do need your assistance. To close our program, I'd like to call on the pastor of Holy Trinity Parish, Father Andrzej Tocki.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and let us pray. Father of all nations and ages, we are here to give you praise for what has been achieved. We give you thanks. For the work that still remains, we ask you help. And as you have called us from many peoples to be one nation, grant that under your providence, our country may share your blessings with all the peoples of the earth. Through our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. W tym roku celebrujemy stulecie odzyskania przez naszą ojczyznę niepodległości, dlatego pozwólcie, że przypomnę piękną modlitwę sługi Bożego, księdza Piotra Skargi, modlitwę za ojczyznę. Boże, rządco i Panie narodów, z ręki i karności Twojej racz nas nie wypuszczać, a za przyczyną Najświętszej Panny Królowej naszej, błogosław ojczyźnie naszej, by Tobie zawsze wierna chwałę przynosiła imieniowi Twemu, a syny swe wiodła ku szczęśliwości. Wszechmogący wieczny Boże, spuść nam szeroką i głęboką miłość ku braciom i najmilszej Matce ojczyźnie naszej, byśmy jej i ludowi Twemu swoich pożytków zapomniawszy, mogli służyć uczciwie. Ześlij Ducha Świętego na sługi Twoje, rządy kraju naszego sprawujące, by wedle woli Twojej ludem sobie powierzonym mądrze i sprawiedliwie zdołali kierować. Przez Chrystusa, Pana naszego. The Lord be with you. May Almighty God bless you, the Father and the Son of the Holy Spirit. God bless you.
Please remain standing. To conclude our program, we call on Mirosławka Topur-Sojka to sing God Bless America.
From the mountain
that concludes our program. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attendance, and we invite you to stay to the museum and visit the social hall for some punchki and pierogi. Thank you.